Yo, what's up guys? We're here to showcase off a really cool deck idea utilizing the newer card that just came out, the Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood, combining it with one of the spider cards, number 35. So let's go ahead and check it out. So basically what this card does, if you guys have not seen it, it's a pretty simple effect though, which is that every single time your opponent special summons an effect monster, which is pretty much every single time you're playing against any deck, you're going to be able to heal up from the difference. So basically, it's really good to be able to increase your attack of your monster, of course number 35, by that set amount. So really what it comes down to is whatever monster your opponent summons, you just gain that much amount of attack for your spider when you go ahead and pull it off. So you can utilize the train engine, obviously the Banish engine works really well, and just one-shot your opponent. Now in this case, there was only one monster on the field. We did happen to have Soul Absorption and of course the Metal Snake, which works quite well with each other just to get extra additional life points. But that's the whole point of it. As you guys can see over here, it's a simple concept. We got a few duels to showcase off, but pretty much all you need to really do is utilize that one effect, and then your opponent either stops playing. It's almost kind of like Max C. If your opponent starts pushing, you have huge potential for like getting your monster up to stupid amounts of attack, and then you just one-shot them. Okay, so anyways, we're gonna go ahead and see some Soul Absorption activated over here, and then we also have Child's Play, which is a card that says each time your opponent summons a monster, you gain 300 life points. Which, if you're playing against Dangers, they're gonna summon a bunch of times. And then on top of that, there's a bonus effect where if you have 10,000 or more, your monsters can't be destroyed in battle, so you can literally set whatever you want. We're at 16,000 life points right here. Unfortunately, we're unable to do any moves, but as soon as our opponent tries to go for more monsters, now in this instance, the Blooming Dogwood did get negated, but that's going to be actually better because we're going to utilize that to banish more cards to heal up for even more. But the same concept still applies. If we were to Blooming, we would heal up for 1,000, and then another 29 over here, and then another 2,800. So again, this is just adding more damage at the end of the day. It's the same thing. But we're going to go ahead and banish a bunch of cards, and we have 2 Soul Absorptions, so that's going to go ahead and heal him out for another 8,000. But granted, he would have healed up for a bunch more anyways, regardless if it was negated or not. You don't need to have this card. It's just another option instead of Soul Absorption to go ahead and make use. So he's going to go ahead and stop the Metal Snake from going off, but that doesn't matter. Soul Absorption is going to be kicking in, and then he's going to go ahead and summon the Night Express Knight, and then go into Ravenous Trance with 17,000 attack, and it doesn't matter what you attack. At that point, that's game over, which is hilarious, and I just love seeing that kind of stuff happen. This one is against another Chaos Max deck. Well, this one's just absurd amounts of attack. Again, this card is so good against most decks. I mean, obviously against Chaos Max, it should be a pretty easy matchup because all they really do is they try to get out this card. But if you were to play the newer build, which, yo, shoutouts to my previous video if you haven't seen that, going over Chaos Max being pretty viable. If you were to Zaborg and get rid of Ravenous Trance, yeah, not too hot. But the other Eater of Millions would have just ate up the card in the first place anyways. This one's kind of funny. I wanted to share this one because I love seeing Mystic Mind lose. It's my new favorite thing to watch. Anyways, this is hilarious. Like, it's an Exodia Mystic Mind player, alright? He goes ahead and activates Trap Trick, which lets you set one, but remember though, with Trap Trick, if you're activating that, you can only activate one trap card for the rest of the turn. Watch what this guy does. Here we see a Desires activate. He's like, yo, in response to Desires, for no reason, he's like, yo, I'm gonna draw 2 cards right now. I got that Metaverse. I'm gonna be able to activate that, go set up that Mystic Mind, and then, yo, he's gonna realize, well, he done goofed because he's not going to be able to actually utilize that because, well, he activated that other trap card, and that's the one he can actually activate. This one's just kind of an auto win, but like you guys can see, you don't have to have the Dogwood to win, but that's kind of the point of it. It's to showcase off the Dogwood train as well as Soul Absorption. I mean, like, a lot of stuff just has synergy. We opted over here to go with triple monsters to one. Shouts to my boy Teriyaki, by the way, for hooking me up with these plays. I like just seeing newer stuff in the game, because I haven't seen that many people actually play the Blooming Dogwood. It is still a relatively expensive card for the amount of people using it. It's probably because, well, I know why you guys like that card. Anyways, once again, Child's Play going to be activated, but in this instance, it doesn't really matter. It's usually for like that going turn, first turn play. Either this or Dogwood is going to heal you up to absurd amounts of attack. And this also adds extra stall ability because your monsters can't be destroyed by battle. But this card would have actually increased by more attack, but this is well enough. You just go into tag duels and 1v2 people. But anyways, now that you guys have seen the Blooming Dogwood, I'm going to call it Blooming Dogwood Train Heal deck, if you will. I mean, it does definitely use Ravenous Tarantula. I don't know, I mean, just these two in the thumbnails, man, we're looking at a quality anime, Kappa. If only this was an octopus. Anyways, onwards with the deck profile. So, of course, we got 3 copies of the Knight Express Knight and 3 copies of the Durricane. And then Metal Snake is also, it happens to be a machine as well, but it is also the wrong level. Unfortunately, if this card was only level 10, man. And then we have 3 copies of the Flying Pegasus. It just lets you get another Earth monster and then special summon. Its effects are negated, but that doesn't matter at all. And then we have 2 copies of the Necro Face and then 3 copies of the Blooming Dogwood, because that's kind of what makes this deck so good. Just like I said, whatever you are healing for, when you go for your Ravenous Tarantula, that's the amount of damage that you get. So if your opponent special summons, like, you know, several monsters and it adds like 10,000 extra life points, it's the same concept. You're one-shotting them. Next up, we have Eater of Millions, 3 copies of Allure of Darkness, 3 copies of Desires, 2 copies of Terraforming, and then this is just more for disrespect. I think Grand Madre Aiza could be a great option as well. 3 copies of Child's Play, 3 copies of Soul Judgment, and we have a D-Fissure and 3 copies of Evolving Switchyard, and then we have the Macrocosmos as well as Poison on the Old Man. I was even thinking, honestly, you could throw in Mystic Mine in this deck. Like, it's definitely possible, because you can just stall out your opponent, and then you just go ahead and be like, oh, you have 2 monsters? Okay, summon one monster, one-shot you. It's a good thing. But I know there's a lot of hate with Mystic Mine, so use it at your own discretion. Anyways, for the extra deck, nothing's really that necessary other than number 35, because everything's getting banished anyways. It's a little bit of RNG, of course, with your Eater of Millions. You don't have to risk it, but if you want to run Extravagance, I have seen people mess around with that in like the Metal Snake build, but keep in mind, you're risking it with some RNG. But this is the only card that's important, and you only really need one anyways to pull it off. But the rest of the cards, well, I mean, you could try going for them, but it's just kind of just filler, honestly. But anyways, that's it for the deck profile, guys. The Blooming Dogwood. I also want to know, have you guys seen anyone play this card? I have not, and it's still like $30-something at the time of this video. It probably will go down in price, but it's not a bad card, not at all, especially since it's still a tuner. It's still one of those hand traps. It's also water, though. Yo, maybe I'll play it in Mermails. We try to make Tarantula and Mermails. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Shout out to my boy, once again, Teriyaki, for the plays. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh content. And feel free to send me in crazy replays, the newest stuff in action. If you want to, AzneyesReplays@gmail.com. Send in the YRP file. Thanks for watching, and peace.